What's wrong, kids? Don't you like to harass and trigger someone with actual PTSD? Don't you think it's fucking funny?
To this anti-MLM community, please stop gaslighting. That would be great. I'm not the one to bitch at when you're mad about these reaction videos going viral, because sweetheart, I haven't done a reaction video, which is why I'm still under 1K. The rest of these bitches all chased clout. I sat here doing real content and being left in their dust. Real tea. I'm not the bitch for this. I don't care about this drama in our community anymore. I really don't. When I did my video yesterday, I spoke to people, they're like, we don't want it ever brought up, but all these videos, all these posts keep popping up. Here's the thing, let me break this down for you right quick. You're all complaining about one DM being leaked and a group of 30 people talking smack on you. Right now online, I'm dealing with a streamer with 7K on one channel, 20K on another, getting people to call cops on me, call CAS on my family, dig into my entire life, and I've been dealing with this behavior since January. I've had nobody come out and speak on my behalf. I haven't been begging my community to help me. So excuse me if I think you're all making a big mess on nothing while I'm dealing with my stuff right now, and that this all needs to blow over. But here's the thing, I still keep going. I haven't stopped putting out an anti-MLM video for even 1 week since all that has gone on. You can go check my channel. Then you can go check his channel, you can see all the streams and 500 hours of streaming that man's done on me because he's mad I didn't get with him. Until you're dealing with something like that on here, like, honestly, this is small potato drama. That doesn't really matter. So there's a bit of bullying in our community. There is in every community. So unless these people are planning on doxing, swatting, doing things like that to you, and threatening your life like what I'm dealing with, it ain't that big of a deal. It says, get the fuck over it and move on with your life. Not hard. If you are in our anti-MLM community right now, and you are in a group chat discussing other creators, such as Savannah Marie, you got about 10 minutes to send me an invite to that chat and really meet a fucking Regina George. I do not put up with bullying in my community or any fucking community, especially people that make group chats to bully people. If you haven't fucking met me yet, let me tell you I've been against that always. So you ladies have about half an hour tops to send me this link so that we can have a chat. Otherwise, I'm coming for each and every one of you because I ain't having that shit here. Doxing is when you share personal information about someone that they're not talking about themselves publicly right now in a malicious way.
This is actual criminal illegal activity involving CP. If you are unaware, all of these people are okay with passing out CP. Real Stream News is. Holly Undead is. The Goon Squad obviously is. Do not support men that are okay with passing out CP.
Can you, just stop?
Hey y'all, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. I wasn't going to do a whole video on this, but I was asked by a few people to make some sort of public statement, so here I am. I decided to do this as a stitch and bitch because why not, right? I needed to do one anyway. I want to keep this brief because in the long run, what I have to say doesn't really matter. Nothing about the situation will change, I don't imagine, but it needs to be discussed. Consider this episode a sort of warning, I suppose. What am I talking about? The Queen of Spade situation. After this video, I will never mention her name publicly again. Authorities have been notified and roped in, and I'm feeling much safer than I was, but I want others to avoid the same nonsense. Also, comments may be turned off, and the like-dislike ratio as well. I don't really know what I want to do about comments yet, but I know that I don't want discourse about this. I'm tired. I don't want people to try and debate me about all this stuff, and I don't really want to give Queen of Spade a platform to go off in the comments. I've been advised maybe to leave the comments on though, so that people can air their feelings and their grievances. I don't know. We'll see. I guess if you see comments open in the bottom, you can comment, and I can always turn them off if I need to. So the events I'm describing may be told a little bit out of order because when we're discussing Queen of Spade, the timeline isn't just like one line. It's like a weird maze that regresses and loops back on itself, and it's seemingly never ending. What I'm describing today is merely a snapshot of the abuse and harassment that Beth has spread around amongst a lot of people. I have been sick this whole time this has been going on, and I just want all of this to be over. That said, despite my vow to never speak her name publicly again after this, if you have ever been victimized by this woman, please feel free to reach out to me via email or DMs. My door is always open if you need support or a shoulder to cry on. I'm going to start from the very beginning of my interactions with her, so bear with me. There will be several points at which I throw up some receipts, and I'll read some of them aloud, but you'll want to pause and read them as necessary. Alright, let's get into this. My first ever contact with Queen of Spade, I'll be calling her Beth from here on out because she doesn't deserve the title Queen, and it just feels weird calling her that, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, my first ever contact that I can recall was on February 19th. You know why I know this? Because she posted in a Facebook group about a video she did on a woman who is an anti-vaxxer and runs an MLM. I was intrigued. I commented. as you can see by this post. She liked my comment, whatever, who cares? I wasn't able to get to that video immediately. I just subbed to her and went back to watch later. Y'all, when I finally got around to watching that video, I was immediately put off. Her content is just not in the vein of what I want to watch. I'm autistic. I don't like yelling. I don't like feeling like I'm being shouted at through the screen. It's super off-putting, and noting my own sensitivity to that style, I just made a mental note not to go back and watch her content. I unsubbed, and that was that. And let me be perfectly clear, it had nothing to do with her at that point, and everything to do with me and recognizing my limits and my boundaries, right? I just can't handle that sort of negative emotional yelling and all that. Now, just to note, people say like Savannah Marie is yelly too, but I don't have the same visceral reaction to her content. Savannah is very kind. She's just loud, and I can handle loud. I can't handle that sort of negative loudness. I don't know how else to describe it, right? Aside from that general feeling I got, I just felt like Beth's content didn't really contribute much to the conversation, so I didn't go back. Literally, it wasn't a big deal. You know, everybody has their content creators that they love to watch and the content creators they avoid. It wasn't a big deal, or at least it shouldn't have been. Now, let me go back in time a little bit. My first public video on YouTube, it was a two-parter about the Kimbyrleigha drama back in January. I posted those on January 25th and 26th. I was already planning on creating content, but I was so peeved by her actions in January that I made those my first videos. Apparently, Beth had put out her own video about the situation just a couple days before. I didn't know that until later, though, because I'd never even heard of her at that point. This was January, remember? And let me tell you right now, when I first started creating content, I was only watching a few people. Monica, Savannah, Kat, Kiki, Respectfully Sarcastic, The Antibot, Cruel World, Happy Mind. I was watching Illuminati, and I'm sure there's a few others that I'm just not recalling immediately. I literally had no idea that the movement was so large on YouTube. And when I found out, I was ecstatic. I'm not gonna lie. So if you're not sure what the AntiMLM drama is about, to sum it up, there were a couple of creators who stopped making anti-MLM content, which was fine, except that they both decided to drag the rest of the YouTube community on the way out. And with Kimbyrleigha specifically, she joined Monate as a market partner, and people felt like she had scammed them. That drama is all over now, as far as I'm aware, and honestly, no one has really talked about it for ages because it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. The only person who keeps bringing up that drama is Beth. She loves to bring it up. So let me see if I can sort of narrow down a timeline of events. Beth put out her video on the Kimber situation on January 23rd. This wasn't the first time she had covered the Leah Kimbyrleigha drama. This was just the video that she put out specifically regarding Kimbyrleigha leaving the quote-unquote anti-MLM community and joining Monate. I put the link below to her January 23rd video if you want to watch it. She had previously spoken about all this drama, like I said, but it's not relevant to this timeline. Now, I couldn't get receipts for some of what follows because the creators of the videos I'm about to talk about took the videos down, and I didn't really feel like it was necessary to drag everything back up to reach out and ask them if I could rewatch it or use part of their content as evidence for my position, because in the grand scheme of things, really doesn't matter going forward. This is just laying the groundwork, right? We're just laying the foundation for what's about to happen. Basically, what happened is, after Kimbyrleigha stopped making anti-MLM content, people who had bought her membership felt scammed, and there was a flurry of new information over the course of several weeks. It was all very exhausting. It was a lot. In the midst of that, Leah, who had stopped creating content in late 2020, returned. She posted a receipts video that had some voice saying rude things, and a couple of people jumped to the conclusion that it was Beth. Now, for some strange reason, Beth blamed Cruel World Happy Mind for this. I'm still not sure why. As far as I was aware, Madison named every voice in her video. But again, that video has since been taken down, so I can't corroborate my statement there. You just have to take it with a grain of salt. Some random person created a whole video about how that voice in Emily's video was actually Beth, and a bunch of anti-MLM people came out in defense of Beth, saying that it didn't sound like her. Like, literally, the last time I saw the comments on that video before it got taken down, there were at least 5 anti-MLM creators saying, no, that's not Beth, it's not fair to do this, you know, whatever. Also, to note, I had not watched Beth's content at all. But when one person accused her of being part of the drama, I got curious and visited her channel. And like, I hadn't watched her content since I tried to watch the video that she had posted about, or in the Facebook group. So Beth posted this post saying, I'm on a break because stalkers keep trying to connect me to the anti-MLM drama that I have zero to do with, and are claiming I am the voice in Madison's video, and etc. I am just done with the communities blaming me for drama I have zero to do with. I've been on a break for days. Please stop connecting me to the drama. I left 2 communities last year for doing the same to me. I will never leave this one. Been in it for going on 4 years. Leave me be. Thanks. XO. I replied because I hoped to put her mind at ease. It did not work. Just as a heads up, the following screenshots were collected on March 12th, so they all happened around that time. I don't have the exact dates these were posted because YouTube deletes community tab posts after a while, and as you're going to see, Beth posts in her community tab a lot. Like a lot. Anyway, so here's the conversation. I said, I don't think anyone is saying anything about your voice being in Madison's video. Madison identified everyone in her video whose voice was heard. And then someone replied, I think she might have meant the Leah video where there is an unidentified voice. And I said, maybe, but even then, one person said this publicly and many others defended her. This kind of post only adds fuel to the fire. There's enough going on. And like, I really genuinely felt like that post, which I had only found because it got recommended to me in my, the algorithm recommended this post to me. So that's the only reason I ever saw it. And then Beth responded, Fox and Compass, I had someone make an entire video about how I am the person in Leah and Madison's video. I have been accused of being both and I am neither. And I was like, yeah, but like, that's nobody, right? Anyway, she continued, the girl in Leah's video was the same girl in Madison's video, and it has been pointed out. So I am being accused of being this person, and I am tired. Every community I have been in the last few years has accused me of being responsible for all their drama when I had zero to do with any of it, so I'm just stressed out and tired of it. I am neither voice and only covered the drama like everyone else. I have as much to do with it as you do. I was like, okay. And then I said, no one is accusing you of being responsible for being part of the drama. And again, the voices in Madison's videos were all identified by Madison in the video. So no one is saying you or anyone in the video. One person made a video saying the voice in Emily's video sounded like you, but in the comments people defended you. This post is wholly unnecessary, to be honest. Which I stand by. That post was unnecessary. And then she replied, as she does, actually, yes, they did. I even had streams made about it and several attacks on me since. That's not true. There were no streams about her from the anti-MLM community. You can sit there and say what I have gone through as a creator on here. Again, victim shaming to the max from you, someone who has been going around talking smack on me in comments for days. Chick, calm down. I have every right to stick up for myself just like Madison and anyone else. Tired of people talking smack on me and claiming since I am small, I have zero right to defend myself. But I am also being blamed for Blair doxing r/. I don't know what that means. Several years ago by others, and yet you have zero clue what I've gone through out here. I just had to take a break, so how are you helping? I have every right to clear my name. Don't like it? Too bad. I was on a break and returned to my DMs filled with accusations and threats to my channel and discussions about how I'm a bad creator on IG. Thanks for your input, but you aren't helping by claiming I am lying about my experience. She went on to say, funny because Madison claimed she couldn't identify or tell everyone that I was not the one who told her Blair copied her video due to her having protected the voices in the video. Are you now saying she lied to me about that? Before you answer, go get your story straight. I'm sick of all you creators on here blaming me for crap I have zero to do with. Been going through this for a year and I don't need the BS from over there. I have no idea what she's talking about in most of that screenshot. So most of those comments, I genuinely, she started connecting weird drama to me and everybody else, and like no one, I don't even know if I could like show this to someone who was like super involved in the drama at the time. I don't even know if they could explain it, you know. It was wild. It was wild. It was wild. So anyway, Cruel World Happy Mind was put on Beth's shit list for some reason, and it was a little bit ridiculous. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. Now, while all of this is happening, Beth was putting out videos about Kimbyrleigha and Leah, like basically the whole time. She did the one on January 23rd, which I just want to note was a terrible video. She basically made it all about her, asked for the community to be kind to Kimbyrleigha, and then called her a bitch like constantly throughout the video. It was gross. Anyway, then she put out 2 more videos on Kimbyrleigha, one of which the thumbnail has cunt in bright red letters across Kimber's face. Beth later claimed that this was someone else's thumbnail that she used on hers to make a point, but that's not really acceptable either. Because maybe no one saw the original video and here you are calling her a cunt in the thumbnail, you know? Then she did videos on Leah, and she was just pumping out video after video related to the drama. Again, I've linked a bunch of it below. Much of it is behind a paywall, but I linked it anyway just to buttress my point. She posted all of this nonsense and then had the audacity to post this, which I believe was in response to the video where Savvy and the anti-bot briefly discussed the drama potentially affecting views. It was a good video. I linked it below as well. I replied because I hadn't seen that video between Savvy and the anti-bot yet, and I thought Beth may have had some source I wasn't aware of, and I genuinely hope to see numbers. It literally was that harmless, but, well, you'll see. Note that these posts are from approximately March 13th of this year. Beth posted all of the anti-MLM drama videos done by drama creators and other anti-MLM YouTubers has now made it so that the algorithm is not picking up on our normal scam and anti-MLM content, meaning our entire movement has been derailed. You can pause and read the rest if you want, but I replied, my algorithm is just fine. In fact, I'm seeing more MLM content overall. Do you have sources on how this is affecting the movement? I'd love to see some numbers on this. She's replied that Savvy and the Antibot actually discussed it in their recent video, and Savvy also brought it up on her IG, which I hadn't seen. At that point, I wasn't, like, I have an Instagram account, but I'm not very, I don't go on there very much, or I didn't used to. And then I was like, she's like, I tend to trust my sources, and I was like, but you didn't cite your sources. That's why I'm asking. Like, thanks though. And like, I genuinely meant thank you. Like, she didn't cite her sources, and I was just curious. And then she commented, I'm writing a damn opinion on my channel and stating I want to get away from the drama due to many of us experiencing this. If you aren't, then cool, good for you. Keep it to yourself. You are just someone who has spent the last week coming at me. I don't have to cite sources to my opinion and what several of us have experienced personally. No, I'm not posting YouTube stats to here. That is none of your business. Either take my word for it and the word the rest of us whom have claimed so, or don't. Why are you attacking the anti-MLM community, chick? Get lost. Don't need your drama here. And I replied, the last week, what are you talking about? I haven't ever come at you. I thought you were open to discussion and debate, and I was being kind and cordial. If this is how you act when people just want to come have a conversation, then I don't know what to tell you. I've never attacked the anti-MLM community. I create anti-MLM content. Maybe you need to calm down and reread what I've said, because genuinely, I have only been attempting to have a conversation. Sorry if you took it some other way. And then she posted this whole post, which is just, I think it's a repost of what Savvy had put on her Facebook or her Instagram, which again, I hadn't seen. I guess I could count this as her citing her sources, but. And then she posted this to Instagram. She posted my comment and then her reply. And then, not you, biznatch. So tired of people off my back. Me, stop the drama and stay on track. Them, no. Which I did not understand. And let me explain. I am autistic. I don't always understand the motivation behind people's reactions to things. And at that point, I genuinely was just like, if you had told me like exactly what I did to be offensive, I would have been like, shit, man, I'm so sorry. And then I would have taken that on and adjusted the way that I interact with you, because I do that a lot. I have to mask with people a lot because sometimes I'm really offensive and I don't mean to be. And I would have masked with her if I needed to, but I didn't know that I needed to. At that point, she had presented herself as a person you could go to and have conversations with. And I guess I misunderstood. And I'll take whatever ownership I need to of my interactions with her at that point. Maybe I was a little catty. I don't know. Everyone I've shown this to is like, no, you weren't rude or anything. Maybe she just misunderstood. But then again, everyone I've shown this to is in my personal life, and, you know, they understand how I work. Anyway, she blocked me after that, which was fine. I didn't really care. It's not like we were going to be friends, obviously. So what was the point of me showing you all that? To show you that Beth kind of creates drama. Like, she flourishes in it. But the moment anyone criticizes her, she acts like the victim 100% of the time. And even if I was unintentionally rude, there's no reason for her to escalate it like she did. I also just wanted to give a bit of history before I ended up falling down the rabbit hole. I wanted to show our interactions up to the point that she got abusive towards me. She hasn't gotten abusive yet, but we're getting there. I was a bit argumentative, I'll admit, but nothing I have said or done to this woman warrants the abuse and harassment I've received to date. Something else I want to note before I move on, Beth truly loves to go back and forth with loving/hating creators. In one breath, she fangirls over Illuminati using a clip of her video in one of hers, and then in the next, she hates Illuminati and says she stole her content. She defended and adored Madison from Cruel World Happy Mind, and now she talks about how Madison should have defended her from some imaginary enemy, I guess. It's kind of ridiculous. So moving on. Let's talk about my Stitch and Bitch video. Mid-March, I posted my second Stitch and Bitch. In that video, I talked about a creator who was crying about swatting and doxing and being generally gross about all of that, but I didn't name any names. I was talking about Lily Jean and a couple of others. Like, my algorithm had just started suggesting those types of videos to me. I watched like half of the Lily Jean video, got a bug up my butt about her misusing those terms and lying in general. And I'd also seen another couple videos in the tea communities talking about it, and I just wanted to rant about it. It had nothing to do with Beth. However, I do have to admit, the part of that video where I discussed the plagiarized tarot video, I was talking about Beth. I just totally forgot about it until I posted my witch video, and I'll talk about that more in a minute. But I legitimately had forgotten that was Queen of Spade, and so when someone asked me if that part about her was about her, I may have said no, but that wasn't entirely true, so I own that, and I do sincerely apologize. I can say it was never my intent to make content about Beth. Truly. It's a Stitch and Bitch, where I literally stitch crafts and bitch about shit. Anyway, Beth commented on that video and it was gross. She assumed I was talking about her, but got the part where I was actually discussing her wrong. She thought that I was talking about, so here's a screenshot. The part where she says, well, this has been about me, bish. That was the first comment she left. And then she left another comment, go look up the channel Suit Yourself. When people are making cartoons of my child in cages with sex songs and calling her a spurg, then how am I using my child as a token to say that is gross? Oh, yeah, by the way, part of that video was talking about people shouldn't be tokenizing their autistic children. I had no idea Beth's child is autistic. It was close to March, and I kept seeing on my Facebook people... I have some acquaintances that tokenize their autistic kids, and it was just... It was on my nerves. It was a Stitch and Bitch. I was just bitching about it. Anyway, her comment. And a spurg, then how am I using my child as a token to say that is gross? If they call CIS, since I'm actually in Canada, to the point where the police and workers actually get tired of the false calls themselves, then how am I lying? I provided proof for a year. I wanted it to end, and I have a creator causing it to force me to stream with another drama creator I want zero to do with, who is well known for doxing and etc. with his whole community. If you don't know what is going on, don't judge. Check into it and do your research before you open your mouth. I got people attacking me because they love MLMs too, so how are you anti-MLM if you attack those of us in the community? As I said, I have no idea what she's talking about. I had never heard of this guy that she's talking about before, and I still don't really know what her whole deal is there. So I responded, why would I want to view that sort of vile content? I'm sorry that happened to you because that's truly reprehensible, but what does that have to do with this video? Again, I'm sorry if you've got drama and CIS involved in your life, but that doesn't really pertain to what I was talking about. If you don't want anything to do with that creator, just block them. I don't know what to tell you honestly, except that I hope whatever you're dealing with ends soon. I went on to say, I never attacked anyone in the anti-MLM community, least of all you. I have no idea what you're talking about. And then I explained what I explained already about the Lily Jean video, and I explained that I don't know her. Her community post kept popping up on my homepage, probably because I did watch that one video you did on the anti-vaxxer lady. Beyond that, I don't really know. I commented on your post because what you were discussing intrigued me, and I just sort of thought it might ease your mind to know that no one was accusing me of being the voice. No one was accusing you of being the voice in Madison's video. And then I asked a question, and you didn't react well, and that's fine. It looks like you're going through a lot, so I won't take offense. And then I replied to her, well, this has been about me, Bish. It hasn't, so I'm not sure why you think that. I'm really not. Again, I'm sorry if I've offended you in some way, and I really truly hope you have a pleasant end to your weekend. That was it. So you can see a pattern of behavior here. She automatically makes everything about her and then just ramps up the drama and tension. And she loves to name drop other creators that are doing things to her. Anyway, that happened on March 14th. So around the time I asked for sources on something, and she flipped out on me, as I showed before. After that, we had no contact. It was nice. Oh, except for this weird interaction. I posted another Stitch and Bitch where I discussed not bullying people with differing views, because it alienates them, you know? Someone who never has commented on my videos before commented this. Pause it if you want to read, but I have no proof of this, so take it with a grain of salt, but I kind of think this is a sock puppet account of Beth's. Anyway, after a nice long Beth-free silence in which I'd almost forgotten she even existed, I got a message from someone asking me to comment on a witch video they had seen recently, since they knew that I was anti-MLM and also pagan. Y'all, I never should open that link. I have so many regrets. It was Beth's video. I got about 2 minutes in and decided I had to react to it. I couldn't not react to it. She basically lied about my religion and my spirituality, and she plagiarized almost all of that video and still got everything wrong. So I reacted to it. I actually don't have that video up on this channel anymore. I moved it to my witchy and pagan channel because I'm trying to niche down over here, but the link is down below if anyone wants to watch it. While I was reacting to it, I noticed that a lot of the script she was reading from seemed familiar. After I posted that video, I got curious and went and ran a transcript of her video through a plagiarism checker. It came out to over 50% unoriginal material once it was all cleaned up. The checker told me exactly where I could find the sources too. In all honesty, it didn't even pick up some of the text in the checker, so probably even more of a percentage that was lifted from other articles other people wrote. I popped up the screenshot here. You can see the percentage of plagiarized material. I've also enclosed screenshots of her description box to show that she didn't even bother to cite her sources, despite her whining that she totally credits every source she's ever used. Anyway, I digress. Beth submitted a copyright takedown notice for my reaction video. While that was going through, she decided to go commenting on the video itself. She said under someone else's comment, "It wasn't a full documentary. What have I stolen? Maybe you shouldn't believe swatters and doxers about me." I don't know what she's talking about, but okay. I'll get into this later, but I had emailed her. I said, "I'm replying to you here. Everything that I've got in quotes is something she commented under someone else's comments." A little bit ridiculous if you ask me. Anyway, so I emailed you politely and privately, Elizabeth. Please respond there if you would like to discuss this, but I will address your public accusations here. She said, "I love how you misrepresented me as saying witchcraft is a cult. You and your subreddit are gross. Go get some help and stop trying to hate on people for your own personal gain." I replied, "Your video intro literally says, yes, this is a cult at the end. You did say this is a cult. I have not hated on you. I reacted to an inflammatory video you created designed to educate people on a topic which you do not understand. And I have no idea what subreddit you're talking about." I do know what subreddit she's talking about now, but at the time I did not. She said, "You conveniently left out the parts where I stated this isn't all the information and I wasn't doing a complete deep dive on everything to do with the history." I replied, "I didn't leave that out at all. Your entire video is represented in this one. Perhaps you cut those parts out before uploading." She says, "You can leave the anti-MLM community if you're going to help creators attack other creators on here. We don't need your kind who support doxers and swatters on here. Kind of a gross person." I said, "The community isn't controlled by you. I will not leave. Besides, it's not a community, it's a movement. I'm not supporting anyone who doxes or swats people, and I certainly don't help anyone attack anyone else. I have no idea why you continue to tout that narrative. Stop roping me into your online drama. It's weird, and I have nothing to do with any of it." She said, "Notice you also stopped watching the morning show. Guess you were just there to try and bug me, LMAO. Too bad it didn't work." I said, I don't wake up early enough to watch it. I didn't stop watching it because of you. Why would I try and bug you? I don't know you. That makes no sense. And how would you know if I stopped watching it? Are you stalking me? Your interactions with me are becoming increasingly alarming. She said, again, you and your friends need some help. You're all like creep show art and it's disgusting. And I said, what friends? Who are you talking about? I only interact with a handful of creators on here and usually only on Instagram. I'm nothing like creep show art and I'm not sure why you're saying that. Ma'am, I will say this one time and one time only. Please cease all contact with me. I only made this video because someone asked me to. And I was genuinely appalled by what you've said here. You clearly have no idea what you're talking about in regards to anything related to paganism, and I implore you to remove your original video. I've reported your plagiarism to the original writers, and I'd hate for them to copyright strike your content. That's it. And then here's another couple screenshots where you can read their responses and how she's underneath everyone's comments in here. And then shortly after that, I received the copyright strike notice. So YouTube often suggests reaching out to other creators to resolve disputes. So I did. I emailed the public email on Beth's channel. Again, just hoping this would all stop. This was getting ridiculous, I thought. Oh, how naive I was. Now, it's important to note the dates here. My video was removed on June 20th, a full 17 days after the video first went up. I emailed Beth on June 14th to request a retraction, and I got no response. Then I emailed her again once I was able to submit a counter notification, and it got approved on June 26th. She replied to neither email, not at first. I sent standard, I believe the claim of copyright infringement is inaccurate, and I explained why. And then that you can see that that was on June 14th, and then on June 26th, I sent, Dear Beth, I am writing again today to ask for a retraction on your DCMA takedown notice. As you can see, I filed a counter notification. If you have no intention of filing a lawsuit, can you issue the retraction so we can both get on with our lives? I mean, I guess I can wait for the video to be reinstated automatically, but I figured I'd reach out and ask about a retraction anyway, seeing as I never received a response to the first email. I thought I was polite. You can pause and read these emails, but I genuinely thought I was being polite here. However, I never would have submitted the counter notification if I had known what would happen next. But let me switch tracks a little bit. Beth posted a video on June 27th where she fraudulently accused a bunch of people of being involved in child pornography.
This is actual criminal illegal activity involving CP. If you are unaware, all of these people are okay with passing out CP. Real Stream News is, Holy Undead is, the Goon Squad obviously is. Do not support men that are okay with passing out CP. Do not support men that are okay with shaming survivors of abuse or stalking.
Between that video and seeing the reaction it provoked, then being fed up with her plagiarism and art theft, I had just sort of had enough. I posted an Instagram post basically publicly distancing myself from her professionally. She did not react well to this. I posted this picture. It says, "The Tower. This card represents danger and destruction. Fitting that I would pull this card now." As a longtime anti-MLMer, though I'm new to being a creator on YouTube, I've been around a while, I just want to make a public statement regarding another anti-MLM YouTuber because I'm seeing concerns and questions regarding a certain situation. Beth, Queen of Spade, has publicly and fraudulently accused other creators of heinous crimes, including possession and distribution of child porn. She is also fraudulently accusing a creator of killing their child. She does this to, just a side note, she does this to Negs. Negz. She's constantly talking about how he murdered his kid, which is super classy, gotta say. Anyway, this creator's child passed away and now she's accusing him of murder. These are not accusations that one takes lightly. These are not accusations one can bandy about without evidence. I just want to take a moment to distance myself from this person and publicly disavow them and their content. I do not associate with this person, and I urge others to avoid their content as they don't cite their sources, plagiarize entire works for the videos, and now accuse people of terrible crimes with no proof. I have seen the distress this is causing some anti-MLM viewers, and I just want to make sure that everyone understands that the community as a whole was not this way. Most of us come to the table with receipts, and we Most of us come to the table with receipts, and we leave wild accusations out of the conversation. Those who are seeing this behavior and questioning the whole movement, please have faith that most of us are on mission. Our mission is simple. Keep people from becoming embroiled in these MLM scams. That's it. We just want to help people. Our mission is not, and never has been, about lobbing unfounded accusations into the wind in the hopes that it would destroy someone's life. This public disavowal of Queen of Spade comes on the heel of a large amount of unethical activity that has been observed over months, such as the aforementioned art theft and plagiarism. She is not good for this movement at all. She needed to be called out, because if we don't, then we are complicit in the actions she takes while wearing our label. Thanks for reading. I know that this subject is a triggering one, and my inbox is open if anyone needs to talk. She replied, super unhappily, I might add, with this nonsense. I'm not going to read it all. It's word salad. I don't know what else to say. Like, I posted up my responses. Basically, her comments are a mishmash of name dropping, being super discriminatory about my religion. It's kind of weird. Yeah, and then she posted on her own Instagram. Go read my comment. I have had enough of even being in communities. LOL. Where are the videos saying it is gross men are sexually harassing me daily to make fun of my CPTSD? Where are the videos saying it is gross? I have had CAS and cops hears 21 times in a year due to RSN and Suit Yourself and negs falsely accusing me of using drugs and abusing and neglecting my child. Nobody has had my back out here, and you all love and watch while my family and I get false calls and swatting, which is dangerous with a child here. This community, this hashtag AntiMLM community, is hateful and becoming nothing more than a drama community. Quite frankly, fuck you. Thanks for being a bullshit community that never has my back and helps misogynistic men attack me. I even did a video about how I called the police when RSN claimed he was sent CP, and Holly Undead said he sent it to her. Do your research and fuck this. Peace. Okay. I don't know who those people are. Like, I knew who RSN was because I'd done some research after I, fell down the rabbit hole a little bit, but like, who is Holly Undead? I just don't know. Anyway. After that, she posted this video on her YouTube. I've linked it below, called "You Win, I'm Gone." Basically guilt tripping and gaslighting anyone who would listen. The first 7 minutes of her video were her reading the Instagram post, and the rest was just nonsense. You can go watch for yourself if you want to see it, but it's a mess. Just warning. But that video began several days of her nonstop posting. Seriously, it was constant. I won't be sharing all those screenshots because it was all so much that this video would literally take days to get through if I did. Anyway, those posts were really worrisome, especially once she started the suicide baiting. Now, I used to be a mandatory reporter. I worked in a hospital, public and private schools. I couldn't ignore the stuff she was saying, so I contacted her local child services. I don't regret that at all. I will never regret putting the best interest of a child ahead of anything else. And here's the emails I sent. You can totally pause to read if you need to. I'm not going to read them aloud for the sake of time. After I sent the initial email, a woman reached out to me and asked if she could call. I said yes. We spoke on the phone, and she asked me to send her screenshots of what caused me to worry. So I did. I sent her one where Beth threatened to unalive herself in front of the child that I told her over the phone was an old screenshot. And then I sent her 2 screenshots from one of the nights during Beth's meltdown. I told her my concerns over Beth's connection to that H-bomb guy, but said very clearly that it was a one-off concern and not the main reason for my call. The entire reason I reached out is because I just wanted to see if any resources could be provided for Beth and her family. A little bit of backstory. When I was a kid, I was in foster care because of my father's abuse. The courts required my mom to do some stuff to get me back, and in the end, CPS reunited me with my mom and gave us resources to help keep us happy and healthy mentally and physically. And I just figured they might operate the same way in Canada. I just wanted to reach out, get social services involved if they needed to be. Because you know what? If they don't need to be involved, they won't get involved. It's that simple. And I would rather put my concerns in the hands of authorities who are trained to handle situations like that, and for them to be like, you know what, there's nothing here, thanks for reporting it just in case. You know what I mean? These are the emails. Again, pause if you want to read. And here's the screenshots of this one. It was done on June 30th around, I want to say 3:30ish in the morning my time, but I don't remember the exact time. I just remember it was June 30th. And then there was, this is the old one, and I told them this is an old screenshot, it just shows a pattern behavior. And then here's another one that she posted that night, and it was concerning, it was alarming. I just want her kid to be safe, and I just want her to be safe, and I didn't know if she had like resources and stuff, you know, to get through things like that. You know, I've been a mom of a young child who didn't have a good support system, and as you can probably imagine, Beth was not happy to have received a visit from social services. She went off on her community tab, and again, it was a lot. There was so much that I can't possibly put it all into this video. I commented and replied to her a few times. I was genuinely trying to help, but she doesn't want to believe that, and that's fine. She doesn't have to believe that I was trying to help. I know the truth. I know the truth. She posted, "Thanks for calling child services and lying again. They won't leave my house until the police agree to charge you with harassment. They're done." That's not how that works. Imagine calling child services on someone because you're mad they posted a video and you don't want them on the internet. Get help. That's not why CIS was called. Had nothing to do with any of that. And then she posted to her Instagram, "More Hannah pictures on my phone. I will be spending the next 2 days consoling my child who is stressed over yet another false child services call claiming I blackmailed RSN and negs with CP of my child." That is not what the CIS call was about. No proof of this. They did not get sent proof. My kid is wondering why people keep coming here thinking we are bad parents. I have to explain to her that some people don't want mommy on YouTube or happy, so whenever mommy ignores them, they call. I mean, it is true. You didn't call when I was upset all night, never called the last several days, called today. Why? Because I am uploading an anti-MLM video and have been happy despite all your people's lies. It is sad you all use the system for online drama and made up lies, then claim I am the one who needs help. I don't make up people blackmailing me with CP or make up people sending CP. That would be you, RSN, and negs. That is what you make up. Imagine supporting people like this. Get help. She loves the get help line. So the way that it works, and I'm sure that it's not this way everywhere, but like the way that it works is like when CPS gets called, they don't show up the same day. Usually it's a few days, and it was a couple of days after I even emailed them that they got back to me, and then it was a couple days after that they visited. So she just obviously doesn't know how CAS works, and that's fine. Not everybody does, and it's probably a good thing that she doesn't. But here's the thing. She doesn't have to tell her child anything. I mean, CPS shows up and they introduce themselves to the child. They tend to do an interview, but they make it as like unstressful as possible for the kid. They basically just show up and they're like, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. I just want to talk to you. I have a couple questions." And then a kid will answer the questions and then they leave. That's it. So like if she's telling her child all that, then that's her choice. No one from social services is telling her kid that shit. Oh, she posted one of those community tab posts about how the call was fraudulent or whatever. And I commented because I was tired of her just screaming into the void. Anyway, I said only you would take an act of care and concern and act like you've been attacked somehow. It wasn't a false call, but you'll never understand why literally dozens of people were concerned by your behavior the other day. Why many were concerned for your child. Your behavior continues to prove the legitimacy of our concern. I hope you get some help because that's all anybody wants for you. To get help and for you to be happy and in peace. Take a break like you said you were going to. Go spend time with your kid. Stop this crusade of yours. Stop attacking the anti-MLM community. They didn't do anything to you, and they are not your personal army. Stop acting like some martyr who's being silenced. No one is silencing you. From the bottom of my heart, Beth, please do the right thing here. Log off for a while and catch your breath because this ain't it. And then she responded with this. You took a post from over a year ago and used it and claimed it was from a week ago. Not true. That is a lie and being a disgusting human being. Not true, even if that's what I did. You had no concern. Being concerned over me being upset, you attached yourself to my stalkers and harassers and began lying about me with them is full of crap. Huh. A fake call it was, and you're a gross human being who I don't want around. You attacked several of my friends for not attacking Emily, Leah, and Kimber and have created issues within this community for a year. with your cancel culture. I haven't been around a year, so I don't know who she's confusing me with, but it ain't me. I don't have to respond to you or your crap, and no, it doesn't give you a right to be fake concerned, to find a post from over a year ago and lie about when it was written to do a false call. Again, I, A, didn't hunt that down. It's all over the internet, Beth. B, it wasn't a lie. It was just added. I said it was from a while ago, and that's that. Even the worker thinks what you did was annoying, just so you know. No, they don't. They don't think that at all. Guaranteed. Anyway, I understand concern. You attacking me with people who have spent a year attacking me is no concern. Okay. Stop opening fake accounts to talk to me. I don't. It's not a fake account. It has my name on it. She blocked me. I had no other way. It is creepy. If I say I want nothing to do with you, you don't tag me in Instagram post and then call CIS falsely to gain my attention. She had never before said she wanted nothing to do with me. All she's ever been is rude, but she's never been like, I need nothing to do with you. And then I just sent a thumbs up, like, okay, none of that made any sense, and it's full of lies, so I just thumbs up it. I know that was super passive aggressive, but, you know, whatever. And then she said, get some help. I have blocked you on 4 different accounts. Not true. She's only blocked me on 2 that I know of. Maybe you and Valk and the professor and the Adorkables can all get help for your obsession with me. Opening an account as me in the morning guru stream and making it so Savvy and RK had to have mods to stop me from being trolled and harassed in their chat is not a good look for you. Why are you attaching yourself to a dangerous people to harass a person in the same community? You are a worrisome person here. Again, cancel culture doesn't fly. Do you think Savvy and RK do cancel culture? They don't and are well aware of what I'm going through. Please get some help. This isn't fair to Savvy and RK either, and it's a bit gross. Please get help. You are destroying the safe stream place we had all made by inviting dangerous people to them. People who give their names in those streams, and those people dox people. There is a reason why I kept them separate from the anti-MLM community. You have zero respect for this community or the safety of those in it. Someone in the anti-MLM community had been continuously commenting, trying to like basically talk Beth off a ledge. And at this point, also please don't read that comment with, not with hate or anything, but with concern. Please don't get it twisted, because every time they commented, Queen was like totally twisting their words, and it was just gross. Anyway, Beth says there's no story. It's a false call. They don't do much for that. I just keep collecting them. The CAS and police have been here. This will be time 21 since January 2020. Something else to note, she goes back and forth. Sometimes it's only 8 times. Sometimes it's 21 times. Sometimes it's only 20 times. Anyway, I'm unsure what they would need to come for. I appreciate your concern. Also, where is the community that sticks up for those who get attacked for leaving communities and MLMs if this is not it? Anyway, something I won't display here during her panicked posts after social services gave her a visit, she repeatedly talked about Negs and accused him of murdering his child. And because that's not my story to tell, and because those posts could be potentially triggering, I'm not going to show them. I just want you, viewer, to know that happened, and it was despicable. So all that happened, and it was bad enough. But then she doxed me. She used the information she got from my counter notification back in June to dox my ex, my married name, and by extension, my child. And it didn't stop there. When she was called out, she just doubled down. In between all of that, by the way, she attacked the anti-MLM community several times, determined to play the victim. Apparently, the anti-MLM community was meant to be her own personal army, which I'm sure you've already noticed is a common theme in her ramblings. Here's where she doxed me. If you were married to this man, don't ever call CAS falsely on me again, Heather. No wonder you support child pornography. And that link there, that link is the link to, and I'm going to explain this later, bear with me, that's the link to my ex-husband's sex offender registration flyer. And then she posts, all these women who date men who do CP attacking me, my family is gross. Ew, I need like 7 showers. Okay. And then she posted, she did this on Instagram too. She didn't even just do it on YouTube. She did it on Instagram. By the way, she had changed her name to Damaged Goods Forever 2019 because that's totally not 13-year-old emo. Anyway, shut up, Heather, she said. This man was your husband. The fact that you want to jump on me about CP claims is laughable, especially since you called CAS on me falsely using a post from January 2020. I did not. That's how it's a false call, used an old post. Then this is your man? All these creeps involved with CP attacking me makes me sick. Yep, because I'm totally responsible for my ex-husband's crimes, right? Oh, and then she just kept going. She just kept in the community tab, which she uses as like her own personal Tumblr. OMG. And mind you, I don't know why she thinks this. All I did was say that she shouldn't have doxed me and my kid. Like, that's it. And she goes off like this for ages. Oh my God, you and your child still live with the CP predator, Heather? You see, I posted up his publicly posted criminal record since I was on the registry, which has his address. If I doxed you and your child, that means he is still living with the two of you. Why are you, with your child, living with a man who has been charged with CP? Okay, you know what's funny about that? She has my address. She knows I don't live with him. She's literally just trying to stir up shit. She's literally just trying to make me look bad, which isn't going to work because I think my character speaks for itself, honestly. And she's just trying to stir up shit and trying to get people to hate me, which is fine. Whatever. And then I asked, where the hell do you get your information from? I don't live with him and you have no idea what the situation is. You are putting my child in danger. I've never doxed your child. I've never done anything to warrant this. Remove this now. I lost my temper there. That was me not behaving very nicely. And then she posts again. Oh my fucking God. She lives with a CP predator and then claims to be watching me and my child. No, I don't. So scary. I just want all these creepy people away from me. Oh, so whiny. Boo-hoo. Valk, you are attached to the most creepiest people. Between yourself and RSN, it's all just predators. Actually, Valk and I have talked a couple times. Valkyrie is really nice. And I actually linked a video of hers below. I'll describe it a little bit later. But Valk isn't attached to creepy people at all. She's trying to detach herself from this creepy person. So, anyway, I just want you all you creeps away from me. You all put me and my child in danger and you claim I don't protect her, but I sit here daily protecting her from the predators. No, you don't. You post pictures of your kid half nude. Good God. Anyway. More, you can pause if you want to read this. This is more of her just, I don't even know. What? I don't know where she gets her information. I think she just gets it all out of her head. And then she posted this right after she finally deleted the docs. She deleted the docs from YouTube first. And she said, a lot of people seem worried about me posting up something. So what worries me is this is a sexual predator's address that is public on the sex offender registry. So she is living with a man with her child who was charged with CP. I did not know it was her address since most mothers would not stay married to a man like that with a child. I did remove it. Nobody has ever asked me for my doxes to be removed and I have a child. I won't read the rest. You can pause if you want to read it, but something to note. She doxed her own damn self. During a dispute with RSN, she filed a police report and posted that police report with her full address to Twitter and Facebook. She doxed herself. She's also posted pictures of a letter from her child's school without obscuring the name of the child's school. She has never been doxed except for by her own self. This is ridiculous. Anyway. Moving on to the next screenshot. I have an abusive ex as well. You don't care when my child is doxxed. You don't care when she has a streamer stream drama to her on her birthday, September 12th, 2020, and show her all over his stream and clicking on her pics, breathing heavily, talking about how beautiful she is. First of all, that's not what happened. I mean, I do not agree with what that man did. It's kind of gross. I found that video after I sort of fell down the rabbit hole with all this. I don't agree with some of the things that some of these men have done to her, but he wasn't like breathing heavily and being all, oh my God, she's so beautiful. Oh my God. No, that's not what that video was. They were making fun of Beth because the kid got a tiny cake. Like, yeah. Anyway, this particular screenshot is interesting to me because she admitted that she doxed me in retaliation. Again, it is fine for people to put my family and I in danger numerous times and be absolutely disgusting to us in videos, but my retaliation isn't appreciated? Boo-hoo. Get over it. Right back at you, sis. Anyway, I've never doxed or swatted or harassed her, so the rest of this screenshot is just ridiculousness. Oh, and then she posted on Instagram. So she doesn't live with him, but me posting up his public sexual offender registered address as of right now is me doxing, and she and her child make it make sense. I'll make it make sense. See, what you've done is you posted up my ex's address, my abusive ex, mind you, where my child still goes to visit, which I'll explain more in a little bit. You're going to get the full story. And I don't make my married name public. So what you did was you posted his full name and address, which means that people could put 2 and 2 together and figure out that's my married name, which is still currently my legal name. Because of COVID, I haven't been able to go and change my name. So anyway, there. Does it make sense now? Doxed me and my youngest child. After all that, I mean, concurrently with all that, like all of this is all happening at the same time, mind you. All of these community posts and Instagram posts, God, it was like seriously like 2 weeks of constantly getting screenshots of this shit in DMs. It was crazy. Here's where she flew off the handle about the anti-MLM community. Mind you, this was not the first time. This is a compilation of screenshots in which she basically blamed the anti-MLM community for supporting her abusers and for not sticking up for her. I don't have much to say about this except what the heck was the anti-MLM community supposed to do? Her numbers clearly indicate that no one even watches her content anyway, so how are they supposed to know anything about what was going on? I'll tell you, they weren't. Her rhetoric here is clearly designed to gather an army, but the anti-MLM community on YouTube is not her personal army. And honestly, with all this nonsense she keeps spewing, which I shit you not is still going on to this day, she's only proving that I was right to publicly disavow her and her bullshit. Now, let me back up a little bit. When she originally posted that video where she displayed my Instagram post, well, I sent her a polite email asking her to remove that portion with my post on it. She never responded to my earlier emails until I commented several times that I had attempted to work things out privately. I originally sent the request for her to remove my portion of the video on July 2nd. She replied July 4th. Here's those emails. Dear Beth, I am writing today to request formally that you remove the 7-minute clip at the beginning of your You Win, I'm Gone video as it contains my copyrighted content. If you are unwilling to remove that clip, I will have to escalate this to a copyright takedown, and honestly, I'd rather not do that. I feel that this can be resolved privately without getting YouTube involved. This will be my sole request and the last time I reach out in a manner privately, professionally to resolve this conflict. And then she sent, "This is what you wrote me?" No. You had no issue talking smack about me on Instagram and making several videos about my content. I made one video about her content. So nice try playing victim. If you want to make a video to try and have me hated by this community and post, do not get upset when I respond. Okay, I'm not, but all right. You spent months on here trying to get my attention. You have attacked other creators in this community who have now been reaching out to me with concerns about you. This is not true. Nobody knows who I am. No one knows who I am. Anyway. Your concerns about me are how I left toxic communities and don't practice witchcraft. Maybe you can cast a spell to get the video removed. You can try to do whatever, but it is fair use. Research and learn about it. Anyway. If you did not want to be in a video of mine, you should not be pulling these stunts with me after what I have gone through on here. You are a heartless woman who attacks people for not hating Kimber enough, and you are mean and have booted women offline in the past. Even argued with Heather to the point of her leaving this community partially due to your bullying, and now you want to make issues with me based on what some hateful men claim about me? First of all, she's talking about another anti-MLM creator named Heather. She is still to this day making anti-MLM content. You have never reached out before this and have never tried to discuss your issues in private, and as a community we decided with Emily and Savannah drama that happened that in the future, if people have an issue they should take it up in private. You did not follow that and are crying about my video calling you out for your hateful post. I'm not crying, I don't give a shit. Get some help. Maybe cast a spell and that video will be removed. I will fight your copyright. I'll win since it's fair use. Nice threat though. I can see what kind of person you are and I don't like it and do not care about your opinion or any opinion of people who would support you. Also, I cite my sources. Nice try though. Keep posting. Your hate will be seen for what it is. Do not contact me again, please, you hateful and spiteful bitch. Take care. I don't care what your name is. Get away from me. After this, it was a little petty. I'm not gonna lie. This was petty. I added spiteful bitch to my Instagram bio. I like it. I'll take it. I will own that. I will own that ridiculous, slanderous title. Anyway, I said, I'm tired. It's been a long week for me personally, so excuse me for replying to your email point by point. The bold is your quoted email and the regular text is my response. Yes, in addition to 2 other emails requesting a retraction of your fraudulent takedown notice. I have made 1 post about you on Instagram. I have made only 2 videos regarding you in any way, and neither of those videos was designed to attack you, simply to refute your messaging. I have never, quote-unquote, talked smack about you. I'm not playing the victim. Nothing has happened here to either of us to warrant victimhood. She hadn't doxed me yet. I do not want the community to hate you. That was not my intent. Anti-MLM isn't a community, by the way. It's a socio-political movement. You responded to my Instagram post. I expected that. I did not expect the days of slander and abuse following that. I haven't tried to get your attention at all. In fact, I forgot about you after you blocked me for asking for sources. I have never attacked any other creators on this platform. Ever. I attack rhetoric, not people. I stand by that. I do not attack people. I'm sorry, but being discriminatory and hating my religion isn't appropriate, Elizabeth. This is a professional correspondence, and I suggest that you act accordingly. I have no concern that you don't practice my religion, only that you spread information that has gotten people like me injured and even killed. Besides, spells don't work like that. If you had watched the video I did reacting to your witch video, I explained what spell work actually is. How come fair use applies for your video, but not for my reaction to yours? Curious. If fair use applies in your case, then it applies in mine as well, and you can respond to the 2 emails I've sent asking you to retract your copyright strike. Anyway, fair use doesn't apply here since you didn't actually make any commentary on the image, which is the copyrighted work, by the way. I don't know anything about what you've gone through on here. Quite frankly, don't watch your content. So if you're going through something, I'm deeply sorry. However, that doesn't absolve you of guilt where your actions are concerned. I am not heartless. I didn't want people to go after Kimbyrleigha, and I even advocated for people to stop attacking her, so I'm not sure where you get that from. I've never booted a single woman offline. I've never booted anyone of any gender offline, so again, I'm not sure where you're getting that information. Heather who? I'm Heather. Are you confusing me with someone else? As I've said, I have no connection to the men who have mistreated you, and I've never supported that. Some of the things you've claimed to have dealt with are deplorable and genuinely one woman to another. I hate that you've been through any trauma that you've faced. I found out later what Heather she was talking about. I totally forgot she'd existed, to be honest. You've had me blocked on YouTube, therefore I didn't feel comfortable sending you an email, to be perfectly honest. You want exactly a safe space for people. And I was dealing with it privately by reacting to your video without naming you so as to avoid any of this drama. I'm not crying. I simply sent you a request, which was met with verbal abuse, to be honest. My post wasn't hateful. I was seeing a lot of pushback towards the anti-MLM movement because you went public with an accusation that was not your accusation to make. In the future, when involvement with CP is suspected, it is legally required in both of our countries that you take your suspicions to the authorities. You don't make public videos like that. You love to say this. I'm not sure why I need help, but I take the constructive criticism when I'm given. When it is given. Okay, again with the discrimination. This is a professional email, Ms. Gibbons. Please refrain from comments and digs at my faith. This is wholly inappropriate. Well, since I've asked YouTube to remove the video based on the image, which no commentary was made on, then I highly doubt it. It is the first and only time I plan to submit a takedown notice, though, so I'm genuinely curious how it plays out. I ended up retracting it. It's not worth the trouble. I don't care. Anyway. Let's see. Well, it wasn't a threat, really. It was just a statement. Sometimes my thoughts can come out a little weird. I'm autistic, so when I speak, I have to try not to sound overly blunt or rude. I'm unsure what gives you the impression I'm a bad person, to be honest. I genuinely feel that I've been cordial and professional during this whole thing, but feel free to point out where I may have made some mistakes. I genuinely mean that. If I'm ever talking to you, like in text especially, if you feel like I have been hurtful or mean at all, you gotta tell me, because I don't know. I don't know until someone's like, hey, that hurt my feelings. And then I can examine that and, you know, if you're willing, talk about it so that I know going forward how not to hurt your feelings. Anyway. Also, I cite my sources, but you don't. I've now uncovered over half a dozen videos where you didn't cite a single source. If you meant to add them in the description box, you never did. And when you're quoting entire passages from articles online, a good rule of thumb is to internally cite the source in your script so that it's cited more than once. Well, I'm not hateful, so I do hope people see that. Right, so I've not once been insulting to you. This is just uncalled for. I would demand that you apologize, but accountability doesn't seem to be your forte, so I'll just move on from that. It was rude, though. Maybe you should sit with why you feel the need to be so hateful yourself. You too, genuinely. I hope you're doing well, aside from all that trauma you keep mentioning. Sorry, I genuinely don't understand what's going on there, but I do wish you the best. When you write letters in a professional setting, you should sign them like that. I know you probably don't care, but it's just a formality, you know? Before I go, can I ask why you think your child was doxxed in my latest video? I couldn't figure that out. But if there's anything in that video that doxes you or your child's personal information, let me know and I'll go blur it out. She had on my, I had done a video, and I linked it below, showing how to determine if a script on YouTube has been plagiarized. And she commented that I doxed her child, but I didn't. She also mentioned something about Facebook, and her Facebook wasn't in that video, so I don't think she watched it. I think she just started flying off the handle there. After I sent my reply on July 4th, she never responded. I didn't care. I never expected a response. And then on July 22nd, for some reason, she replied to all of my emails. And you can, I'm not going to read them. You can pause and read if you would like to. The last two emails were in my spam folder because I blocked her response after the first one, or the second one. But can you see how I've never said anything vile to the woman? Like, I've never been rude or crass or vulgar. I've tried my very best to be as professional as possible, and she insists on being rude as fuck. It's just so irritating. It's almost as if she's trying to get a rise out of me so that she can turn around and use my words against me later. It certainly fits her pattern of behavior thus far. So, I want to explain the whole copyright thing about my Instagram post. Technically, any image that you create is automatically copyrighted, even if you post it publicly. I use that as my excuse to try and get her to take down my portion of the video because it's just not a good look for either of us to have such nonsense out there. Oh well, too late I guess. Anyway, Beth seems to have issues with copyright infringement. She frequently posts art of hers that is actually just traced art of other artists. It's gross. Also, she had no problem copyright striking my reaction to her witch video, and yet I asked her politely to remove my content from her video and am called a bitch and a cunt. Anyway, during all of this is when she started going off about how I have a bunch of fake accounts and how she's going to sue me. I don't have fake accounts. All of my alts are in my name, so you know they're me, not fake. And if she sues me, she sues me. I don't think anyone has time for an international lawsuit that they're going to lose, though, you know? Now, something I haven't mentioned yet is that after I posted my Instagram post publicly distancing myself from her, I started looking more into Beth's claims. She always seems to blame a certain set of people for her problems, and she always assumes people are working with some guy named RSN. When she first accused me of simping for RSN, I had no idea who the guy was. She also accused me of working with Suit and Negs and Bells and a bunch of other people I didn't know until very recently. Here's what I figured out in case anyone is confused. Back in 2020, I think, Beth and her husband were supposedly separated. She and RSN entered a weird sort of relationship, and I don't have all the details about that. No matter what, though, they had a falling out, and she's accused him of domestic violence and emotional abuse against her ever since. Now, I have no way of corroborating her claims. No one was there. No one saw their relationship. All we have confirmation of is that they had a thing, and now they don't. In general, I believe victims. If you come to me and tell me you've been abused, I'm going to believe you. I never doubt victims. Never, never, never. I never doubt victims. In this case, though, because I've experienced firsthand Beth's penchant for accusing people of crimes against her that they didn't commit, I'm inclined to doubt her word on this. I mean, some of the men she describes are abusive towards her are definitely not the kind of people I'd hang out with. And I have my own reservations about them for sure. Some of the streams done on her have been downright revolting. She's definitely experienced some shit out here, right? But something to note, and keep in mind I am not defending their behavior, she has doxed, swatted, harassed, and abused several of these people as well. So it's a case of who started what nonsense, and I'm not here to get into that. However, despite the louder, more revolting actions of a select few, most of Beth's victims have done nothing wrong. She was involved professionally with a YouTuber named H-Bomb. He had already acquired a domestic violence record for abusing his partner several times, and this was public knowledge. Beth called out H-Bomb's victim and harassed her, calling her a liar and saying all sorts of terrible things. I don't want to bring that proof into this video, so I've linked 2 videos below by a creator named Clobbering Time, who has done a really good job of covering that situation and Beth's following interactions. Another victim of Beth's who has come out publicly to discuss abuse faced by Beth has a very similar story to mine. She asked Beth for proof once in like 2019. Beth flew off the handle. Her victim's name is Valkyrie, and I linked a video below that perfectly showcases Beth's behavior and Valkyrie's measured response. Now, I have spoken, as I mentioned, with several people who Beth has victimized. Most of them are genuinely good people who got roped into a bad situation and have had to defend themselves for months, and some of them even years. They have been accused of working for her abusers. They've been accused of being her abusers, stalkers, etc. She has accused them of stalking, swatting, doxing, all of it. And want to know something interesting? No one has ever doxed Beth. As I said, she posted her own doxes, like for her child's school, her child's full name, her child's birthday, her address, her full name, her birthday, her maiden name even. She posts all of these inappropriate pictures of her child, and then when anyone says anything about it, she acts as if she's the victim, as if other people are sexualizing her child, even though most people are just warning her, hey, if you're really having all these problems with these people out there, maybe you shouldn't post pictures of your kid in their underwear. Anyway, you can go and look at Beth's Instagram if you want. I'm not sharing those pictures of her child in her underwear. It's not happening. And at one point she posted a picture of her child naked. That's still up on her Instagram too. You just have to scroll really far back. It's gross. Anyway, I have a theory, and it's really only a theory. I think Beth acts this way in order to make herself the victim. I think she wants people to attack her. I think it irks her when people treat her with respectful discourse, because then she can't flip that around and act as if she's been wronged in some way. On a more personal note, she really likes to attack my personal life. Literally, everything from my religion to my abusive ex is fair game to her, evidently. In case you weren't aware, I'm pagan. I call myself a witch, but only because there's not really a better term for my beliefs. I'm Celtic and Norse pagan, and I have some witchy views. Beth really enjoys poking fun at this, as recently as July 27th. I haven't talked to or said anything about her publicly in weeks, except on my Instagram story where I mentioned I'm making this video. And yet here she is. On the day her mother-in-law died, no less, she's literally going off on her community tab about drama instead of spending that time with her family. But whatever. So apparently there is a rumor my husband took my child and left me because I am abusive to her. I think you all are gross. Here's my man and child curled up in bed last night right before I joined them. The anti-MLM community apparently wants me to be divorced according to their newest witchy members. What happened to this place? Making up lies about fellow creators being left by their family because they are so hateful? Get some help. You're the ones ruining this community, not I. I kept all my doxers out of it. You invited them in, Heather, and then chose to continue with lies. Get some help. We are a happy family, and anyone wishing anything less on us deserves to be shafted, quite frankly. Enjoy your drama rumor mill. I'm busy researching MLMs and helping people leave them, like the hashtag anti-MLM community is supposed to be doing. Enough drama. Get help. Your obsession with me is a bit worrisome. And then, like, literally a few minutes later, she posted, go cast a spell or channel some demons or something. I'm busy. Like, that's completely unnecessary. Does she know how unnecessary that is? Anyway, I should note I've heard that rumor and I've mentioned it to exactly 3 people in DMs. Not because I wanted to spread the rumor, but because it was a curious thing, especially as she must have been rather difficult to live with during her weeks-long breakdown. Honestly, while I don't hope that she is separated from her family, I do hope that her husband and child are safe, wherever they may be. Oh yeah, and just for fun, here are 2 posts she made where she said doxing is never okay, even if you don't agree with the person's actions. How's that for irony? Never okay to do this to someone, no matter how many subs they had or what you think they did wrong. Trolls on this platform are out of control, and I don't know what can be done, but I feel more of us going through this need to speak out. No one doxed her. Too many creators going through this. It should not be a normal part of being on YouTube. When I began to get doxed and cops showing up here, I was told it was normal. No, you weren't, because you were never doxed. About my ex-husband. I met him in 2009 when he was stationed at Fort Bliss. We knew each other for 3 months and then got married, which, looking back, was so stupid. Anyway, he told me after we were married that he was in trouble with the law and might have to go to jail for a few months. He told me that it was because he had downloaded a mass pornography file from LimeWire, and it contained a single file of a minor in a compromising position, about a 16 or 17-year-old. His court-martial was simply because they wanted to make an example of him, he told me. I believed him. It sounded plausible enough to my dumb 18-year-old ears. Anyway, I got pregnant and had our daughter while he was in prison. He sent me to live with his family in Kentucky and joined us when he was released. Years later, in 2015, I found out more about why he was imprisoned and what his charges really were. His initial story was true. It just wasn't the extent of the situation. He had developed a curiosity about child pornography and downloaded much more after that. In the court transcript, he admitted to masturbating to images of 16 and 17-year-old girls while he was about 18 and 19 years old. I was mortified. I left him November of 2015, took my daughters, and we drove to Texas to stay with my other ex until I could find a place of my own. That's where I met my current husband. Anyway, we share custody. Why? Because the court said, since we were married so long and he has never touched my daughters, that there is no reason to keep him from having custody of our youngest, who is the only daughter that we share. So our daughter goes back and forth to see him. I've had a judge and 3 lawyers across 3 states tell me that unless he harms her, there is nothing I can do. They can't prove I didn't know about his crimes. I do not live with him. Our divorce was finalized in 2020 after 4.5 years of him stonewalling the process. I haven't lived with him since September of 2015, in fact. He moved out after a fight during which I threatened to call the police. He abandoned us in a shitty house, and I used that reprieve from his psychological abuse to finally make a plan to get away from him for good. It is not for nothing that I fled states away. Anyway, I have been as professional as possible in this video. But in regards to Beth doxing my ex and putting us in danger like that, fuck her. That was unacceptable, and I think she knows that. I had to call him and inform him of what was going on. Y'all, we haven't spoken in years. We talked through an app that the court decided we should communicate through. I am done with this. I am done with Beth. I am done with her lies, slander, and abuse. I won't be talking about her anymore. But like I said in the beginning, if you're a victim of hers and you need an ear or a shoulder, I'm here. You can DM me on Instagram or email me anytime. However, I've been advised by a lawyer that I shouldn't speak of her publicly anymore in case it jeopardizes any future legal proceedings. She will likely keep bringing up my name and attaching me to nonsense I have naught to do with, but in the end, I know the truth. And the truth is, I've never done anything to this woman, and I never will, and I think I've shown that. I've said what I've had to say, and I'm going to leave it at that. A final word of warning to any and all who engage with her: don't. It is not worth it. She's dangerous. She's toxic. She needs to be deplatformed and shunned, and I'm not just saying that to be dramatic. She is so bad for what the anti-MLM movement is trying to do, and she's terrible to associate with socially and professionally. She keeps talking lately about how she's never going to be kicked out of the anti-MLM community, but like, sweetheart, you need to understand that you've made yourself a professional liability. You can't get kicked out of a movement, and I really do hate when it gets called a community. But you certainly can be ignored, and I, for one, plan to do just that. From here on out, I won't be engaging with anyone who engages with her for my own safety and mental health. It's just not worth it. It's no offense to anyone who is her friend, but I can't. I spent weeks because I was already sick, and then I spent weeks dealing with this, and finally my husband was like, I don't know that you've like actually process this. And so I spent like 3 days crying and binging MasterChef, and I know it sounds really stupid, but that actually helped. Sometimes you just need a good cry, you know. Sometimes you just need to, I don't know. It was really rough after she doxed me, because you know, my mom and my husband were like, you need to tell your ex what happened, because he needs to know if she's going to do something stupid. And so like I called him, and like talking to him is really hard because he's the master manipulator. I've never met anybody who can manipulate it as well as he can. And like it still worries me because he was so calm about it. He was like, oh yeah, okay, I'm not worried. And like, I'm worried. Like, she has my address, and now she has my kid's address, and like, she's dangerous, and I just want this to be over. I don't know. Anyway, this video will remain on my channel unless she apologizes and retracts her slander and terrible statements. Otherwise, it will stand as a warning for all to see the incredibly problematic nature of this very nasty woman. I will leave you with this quote from J.R.R. Tolkien, spoken by Gandalf in The Two Towers. "The treacherous are ever distrustful." Thanks for watching, y'all.